Good morning, friends. We begin our time together this morning by reading from First Kings. Good morning, Don and Linda. Good morning, Mom. After this live, we will have a second live of the morning, and in that we will pray. But here, Second Kings is First Kings. Sorry, First Kings is before us. Big picture, first 11 chapters are the reign of King Solomon as king over Israel and Judah, over a united kingdom, succeeding his father David. Now, we're in an interesting point here. I'm going to leave it right here on these two sections, which have some connection. Chapters 3 and 4, Solomon asks for wisdom. We've encountered that. Chapters 5 through 8, Solomon builds the temple. Now, here's the interesting thing where we are right now. What chapter are we in? You know, things we call chapters and verses are not original to the text. They're not historical. They were added later on. So here's the funny thing. The point where we are right now according to the chapter and verse system in Christian Bibles, we're resuming this morning at chapter 5, verse 7. But according to the chapter and verse breakdown in Jewish Bibles, we're at chapter 4, verse 27. Excuse me. And, oh, right. You know, our reading of the Hebrew Scriptures in this cycle, we're reading from the complete Jewish Bible. Oh, I got those reversed. I did, which is why I got them reversed. In the Jewish Bible, let's try that again. In Jewish Bibles, we're at chapter 5, verse 7. In Christian Bibles, we're at chapter 4, verse 27. We're reading from a Jewish Bible, the complete Jewish Bible. So here we are, chapter 5, verse 27, which is, as you can see, chapter 4, verse 27 in Christian Bibles. As mentioned, complete Jewish Bible, that's what's on the left-hand column. That's what we're reading from. And the right-hand column is the New Revised Standard Version Updated Edition, which we may consult, use as a comparison from time to time. We'll see how this goes. But yeah, so that's where we're at this morning, where we're starting up. Jewish Bibles, complete Jewish Bible, chapter 5, verse 7, which in Christian Bibles is chapter 4, verse 27. So we're, you know, somewhere right here. The building of the temple hasn't started yet, but the request for wisdom has been some time ago. Let's read. Oh, yes. And Jewish Bible means Jewish names. And I will use the NRSV UE in the right-hand column to point out who these are. Like, for example, since we're about to get to it very shortly, King Shlomo. Yeah, that's King Solomon. Shlomo is the Hebrew name of Solomon. Good morning, Audrey. Those officers named above, we read quite a list last time. Those officers named above supplied food and other materials for King Shlomo and for everyone for whom Shlomo provided. Each was responsible for his month's supplies. They saw to it that nothing was lacking. They also made sure there was barley and straw where it was needed for the horses and draft animals. Each filled his quota. God gave Shlomo exceptional wisdom and understanding, as well as a heart as vast as the sandy beach by the sea. Shlomo's wisdom surpassed the wisdom of the people from the east and all the wisdom of Egypt. For he was wiser than everyone, wiser than Ethan the Ezraki, Ethan the Ezrahite, and wiser than Heman, just different spelling, Kalkol, again different spelling, and Darda, the sons of Machol, so that his fame spread to the surrounding nations. He composed 3,000 proverbs and 1,005 songs. He could discuss trees from the cedar in the Lebanon, to the hyssop growing out of the wall. He could discuss wild animals, poultry, reptiles, and fish. People from all nations came to hear the wisdom of Shlomo, including kings from over all the earth who had heard of his wisdom. Chapters are going to match up now, just not the verses. Christian Bible, we now catch up. NRSV, chapter 5. We're just off by some verse numbers. And here comes the temple. Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servants to Shlomo because he had heard that they had anointed him king in his father's place, and Hiram had always loved David. Shlomo returned this message to Hiram. You know that David, my father, wasn't able to build a house for the name of Adonai, his God, because of the wars that beset him from every side, until Adonai put his enemies under the soles of my feet. Remember, Adonai is a way to address God without using the sacred name of God. And if you look over here into the NRSV, large uppercase L, smaller uppercases ORD, that is the sacred name of God, which is literally transliterated into English as YHWH. That's right. Remember, one of the things fun with Hebrew is there are no vowels in the original text. That was considered, is still considered, so sacred a name that only God can speak it. So everywhere where you see this, the sacred name, the Jewish text will, in its place, put Adonai. And before that was the case, when one came across the sacred name, they just said Adonai. Verse 18 or verse 4. But now Adonai, my God, has given me rest on every side. There is neither adversary nor calamity. So now I intend to build a house for the name of Adonai, my God, in keeping with what Adonai said to David, my father. Your son, whom I will put on your throne in your place, will be the one to build the house for my name. Therefore, order your people to cut down cedar trees from Lebanon. Remember, that's Lebanon for me. My servants will be with your servants. I will pay your servants according to everything you say. For you know that we have no one among us as skilled in felling trees as the Sidonians. When Hiram heard Shlomo's message, he was very happy and said, Blessed be Adonai today, who has given David a wise son to rule this great people. Then Hiram sent Shlomo this message. I have heard the message you sent me, and I will do everything you want concerning cedar logs and cypress logs. My servants will bring them down from the Lebanon to the sea. I will make them into rafts to go by sea to whatever place you tell me, and will have them broken up there, and you will receive them. You will compensate me by providing food for my household. So Hiram gave Shlomo all the cedar logs and cypress logs he wanted, and Shlomo gave Hiram 100,000 bushels of wheat as food for his household and 1,000 gallons of oil from pressed olives. This is what Shlomo gave Hiram each year. Adonai gave Shlomo wisdom as he had promised him, and there was peace between Hiram and Shlomo, the two of them, formed an alliance together. That, friends, is where we're going to pause in our reading. Wow. We don't tend to think of wheat in the terms of bushels, but we do have an idea of the size of a bushel. And 100,000 bushels of wheat. That's a lot of wheat. Gallons of oil? Oh, we know about that. 1,000 gallons of olive oil. That really is a lot. Good morning, Cheryl. All right, friends, next time we are in chapter 5. We'll resume. Well, the verse numbers still don't match up. That's coming. According to the Jewish Bible, verse 27. According to the Christian Bible, verse 13. Since we're reading the complete Jewish Bible, we'll stick with the Jewish Bible primarily. Verse 27. Although we'll make note of the fact that that's verse 13. Thank you for reading with us this morning. In a moment, we'll close this live down, and when this live closes down, look for the next one to open. In that next live, we'll pray morning prayer together. Peace be with you. Until next time.